In Hypixel Skyblock, there are a wide variety of different slayers that you can do. You can venture off into the Crimson Isle to best the Demon Lord, or head to the end to beat the Voidgloom Seraph. Each one of these slayers are meticulously crafted to offer a new and challenging set of bosses with fun and unique gameplay. Well, most of them anyways. There's one slayer in particular that doesn't quite match the same level as the others. It's slow to do, and doesn't offer many useful drops either. Because you clicked on this video, you know which one I'm talking about, and that is the Wolf Slayer. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down the reasoning behind why I think Wolf Slayer is lousy and what could potentially be done to fix it. Let's get right into it. First off, let me explain what the premise of Slayers are to anyone who may not know. Slayer quests are tasks where you must kill a specific amount of enemies to spawn a boss. Depending on which Slayer you decide to do, you will have to kill a different type of mob. For Wolf Slayer in our case, you'll obviously have to kill wolves in order to spawn our boss. Our boss, in this case, being the Sven Packmaster, has 3 abilities at its max tier. Agile, it makes the boss fast, while True Damage does exactly what it says. It deals true damage. Call the Pups, on the other hand, is the first interesting ability in which at 50% health it summons its children or some other wolf's children to attack you. Very fun, I know. Now that we know what we're dealing with, let me bring up my first point and why this Slayer just blows. First up is the fact that there really aren't any interesting drops for this boss. Now I automatically understand what you guys are thinking. What about the Overflux Capacitor? In my eyes, this one drop does not make up for the fact that almost every other drop for this boss is just genuinely bad and serves minimal purpose. Grizzly Salmon is worth little to no coins for how rare it is, being almost as rare as the Capacitor. Now the talisman you can use the Grizzly Salmon to get isn't even expensive because of the salmon, but from the other ingredients. The salmon can be obtained for about 300k at the time of making this video. That's simply not enough for how rare the drop is at all. Other than that, the Red Claw Egg isn't much better either, being 400k coins despite being another Prey RNGesus drop. These things are just too rare and too cheap to make the Slayer very fun. I think that if you want to make a Slayer more interesting, there's got to be these little drops you can get in between big ones that are a few million coins to make it more engaging. Speaking of engaging, let's talk about how the actual boss isn't very fun to fight at all. The boss doesn't have any truly interesting mechanics, with Call the Pups being a rather basic ability. None of this is circumvented by the boss being hard either, with the boss being criminally easy to beat. Despite all of this, the boss still takes longer than it should to kill. This didn't used to be a problem when they allowed magic damage against Svens in what I call the golden era of Wolf Slayer. Allowing magic damage allowed quick work against this easy boss, as it should have been. A great example of this is the Tarantula Broodfather boss. Although it's not a shred challenging, it dies very quick and allows magic damage, meaning it's not a very painful boss fight with unnecessary stoppage times like Sven. With how comparable the Sven and Tarantula are in terms of difficulty, they really should just allow the magic damage to be dealt so that this boss can be a little more enjoyable and a lot less long. On top of all of this, the area to spawn this boss is awfully small. Almost every single park lobby will have a solid 4 to 5 people minimum doing Svens. Now this doesn't sound like a number that would be concerning until you realize that like 3 people can keep the entire area fully cleared at a time. This makes getting enough kills to spawn the boss challenging, making every boss a fight to kill the wolves before the young Dragonons can Flower of Truth them first. This number doesn't even include when Aatrox is in office, because Svens become genuinely undoable due to there being 10 plus people in every single Howling Cave. There just simply aren't enough wolf spawns for the Slayer to remain easy to spawn the boss with. Overall, I just don't like this Slayer. In my eyes, every other Slayer just seems to fit better with what it's trying to do, and also just feels more fun to do. Potentially the 5th tier of this boss will fix some of these issues, and this video was for absolutely nothing. But until then, I stand by this issue, and I hope that maybe one day they'll do something about it. That's all for this video, folks. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I hope you all had a wonderful day. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.